Okay, we're live, Hunter.
Okay, take two. My name is Hunter Morrison. I'm the planning consultant for the city of Youngstown, and this is the July 6th, 2001 Design Review Committee meeting. It is being broadcast on Zoom and will be archived on YouTube. We have 4 items on the agenda today. The first item is a presentation by Jim Kinnick, the Executive Director of Eastgate Regional Council of Government, on Eastgate's downtown streetscape project, which they're doing in conjunction with the city of Youngstown. Jim?
Sure. Thank you, Hunter. And thanks for having me today. I wanted to kind of run through some of the, or update really, this group on where we're moving forward with some of our efforts to work with the city and then also with Eastern Gateway. Just a short presentation. If you can advance the next slide. What we're looking at is, let me see here. What we're talking about is looking at Boardman Street and Walnut Street. Those are 2 streets that were not part of the Smart 2 build corridor.
Rick, can you advance the slides? Put it up on slideshow. Go to slideshow.
Where are you? Oh, here.
Okay, now from beginning. There you go. All right.
There we go. Next slide, please. Perfect. And like I was saying, this, if you look, the street highlighted with the landscaping and improvements is Walnut Street. The one going top to bottom is Boardman Street. These 2 streets were not part of the Smart 2 corridor. As you know, the 5th Avenue project was phase 1. That project is nearing its completion, should wrap up this week, or I'm sorry, this summer. Later in August, I know there was an article about some of the mast arm pulls being delayed, but I don't think that's too bad to find it in August, but the improvement looks great. There's some other things that we're going to tie into, but mostly the street will be open and ready for traffic and pedestrian traffic, encouraging pedestrian traffic. We're also working with WRTA to advance the shuttle that'll go up and down 5th Avenue in the spring of 2022. But phase 2 of that project was the downtown streets, Commerce, Federal, and Front Streets. Those were, and Phelps Street. As you know, Phelps Street was phase 1, and that's underway now, and we're excited about that. That project will conclude next summer with Federal Street being the last of those to be done. But what we want to do is be proactive. The intent of the project was always to grow the initiative. This is a great opportunity when we look at Walnut and Boardman and all the good things happening at Eastern Gateway, which has been part of this planning process to make those improvements to Walnut. And then the connection to Schoaf and the Career Center, which is very important to us, with taking out the pavement and putting in a staircase with lights similar to the other one that's to the west of this. It makes a connection to Wood Street, closer to the campus of YSU. But what we wanted to do was this, the same type of road diets, as you will, taking it down to 1 lane in each direction, Walnut Street with the 2-way turn lane where needed, and then put in plantings. I know that Eastern Gateway was very concerned with trying to make it a more inviting campus look. I think that when you take a look at what we're doing on Boardman Street, you'll see we put a mid-block crossing in too. I think we have closer slides next. If you can advance the slide, please. Yeah, there's what I was talking about with the Boardman Street in the community college to the right. And then you see that we're going to bring in the same type of intersection designs that we have consistent with Wick Avenue, 5th, and all the proposed improvements on Front, Federal, and Commerce Street. You can see the bump outs at the intersections to certainly narrow the crossings to make it safer. A mid-block crossing on the campus of Eastern Gateway right there on Boardman Street. And then the other mid-block, another crossing there when you go down to Walnut and Boardman. We're also working with the city, hoping to extend that work on Boardman to Market Street, and the goal would really be to get it to Phelps Street too, to make that connectivity to the promenade or the walkway that we have on Phelps Street, and make it more inviting and really connect the city. And these improvements will have very similar designs with the benches, the lights, the landscaping. So we tie it all in and make one big project. You can advance the slide, please. This is just an example of what we're doing with Federal Street. Again, ties in the Federal Street improvements that are proposed in the Smart 2 corridor. You can see that we've shortened those intersections, which are sitting there right now. As I look out my window, 5 lanes to cross, which is very difficult to bring them down to 3 lanes with the bigger reliefs on the corners, and then the decorated crosswalks. You can advance the slide, please. What was very important, this is the Walnut Street improvement proposed with the staircase and lights to get us up to Wood Street and to get us to Chauvin. Very important to get that connectivity for Eastern Gateway. This really ties in the eastern side of the downtown area. We've also taken a look at Walnut Street. If you go between Wood and Rain, would be the only portion of Walnut that hasn't been improved. We're looking at hopefully be able to extend this project and continue that project and tie in the whole downtown area. One more slide, please. Okay, I guess that's all the pictures I had. I just want to summarize. I think it's important to continue to involve everybody and appreciate the opportunity to present this to this committee today. Again, the effort was always to grow this initial project, the Smart 2. We're always looking for opportunities to take that further, tying in Walnut and being able to do more of the improvements to Boardman Street, and hopefully eventually get Boardman Street all the way to the end, to the western limit as we move downtown. I can tell you that those projects are on schedule to happen in fiscal 2023, which is July of next year, if you can imagine. We hope to have those improvements to Walnut and Boardman under construction late summer, early fall, and completed by the end of the calendar year next year. Exciting to be able to move those forward. I can tell you we're not quitting there. We're also taking a look at what we can do to extend Federal Street down to Penguin City with some of those improvements and tie that in. And then I know the city's initiatives under Mayor Brown and Nikki and Hunter is to start looking at the corridors as you come out of the city, certainly Market Street as you get to the Boardman area, and then Belmont Avenue as we work our way north there. So would appreciate the opportunity, as I said, and if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer what I can. Thank you.
Jim, very good. First of all, for the committee, I know you've received in your mailings details of benches and planters, et cetera. So if there are any questions on those, we can ask Jim. But one question I have, Jim, have you looked with the city at four-way stops that say by the community college? Right now, some of the intersections are four-way, some are two-way, some are no way, and I think as a pedestrian, that's somewhat can take your life into your hands on some of these situations because people really don't stop at the crosswalks.
Well, I'll defer that. I know Chuck's on the line here. The city did a study with traffic signals and started removing some of the traffic signals downtown. I can tell you that the bump outs in taking a crossing or an intersection from 5 lanes down to 3, and certainly aids to the safety of anybody trying to cross. It also, by constricting and road dieting, it just certainly tempers the speeds as you come through there. But Eastgate has not done any study when it comes to the traffic signals. And again, I would defer to Chuck, who's on the call too.
Yeah, I was thinking more stop signs and signals, but yeah. Chuck, do you have any thoughts on that?
In regards to the Boardman Street project, we'll when we get into the design phase, we'll do some more studies on four-way stops there.
So that's for a later piece of work then.
It's not really, yeah. I mean, it's not. It doesn't really have anything to do with design review.
No, exactly. Are there any questions from the committee on this? And I see Councilman Oliver has joined us. I don't know if Councilman, if you want to comment on the work that's being done as well.
Yeah, I just want to commend everybody for doing a great job. It's great to see things that we've been talking about for years come to fruition now. So I just appreciate the team and everybody that's worked hard to make this happen. I think it's great progress for Youngstown and it's a great push forward. So thank you.
Any comments or questions from members of the committee?
I have a comment, I guess, or I'm obviously very pleased with this presentation, and we're going to move forward and bringing this project into reality. But I'm a little bit confused, I guess, as to what's going on, because the planters and so forth that you're seeing, I believe, for a different case, and I don't know if maybe the agenda doesn't reflect what I thought it was going to reflect. I guess I'm sorry. It seems like there's two projects. Like we're looking for an approval for the Smart 2 project, and I don't see it as a case number.
No, this is a presentation, Chuck.
What's that?
We set this up as a presentation, an informational presentation.
I understand, but these are completely different projects. I see Joe Banner referencing Rich and Gaffney. That has nothing to do with the Boardman or Walnut Street project. That's the Smart 2 project. That should be on for approval. There should be a presentation made. And I don't know if there, can I just ask, is there anyone representing Rich and Gaffney on the call? Okay. All right. I guess there's no one that's representing them, then I guess it's a kind of moot point for right now. We'll have to wait. Okay.
So that could be brought back at a subsequent meeting, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just I thought it was going to be on the agenda today.
No,
that's okay.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody say something?
Yes.
Yes, Robert.
Yes, this is Robert. Yes, I was in contact with Joe Banner. He was supposed to be on, and Mike Durkin has said that both would be a presentation on the agenda and not a case. So that's why they're both listed as a presentation instead of one presentation and one case.
Okay. Well, Mr. Banner's not here to present, so I think we'll table that for the next meeting.
Hunter.
Mr. Oliver, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody that is keeping in mind with the planning or the streetscapes of everything that's happening all throughout downtown, both with the Smart 2 project, the build, everything that's going on. Just keep in mind our elderly population downtown. You know, a lot of people are in wheelchairs from Realty Towers and Gutnick's and other places around downtown. You just want to make sure everything is accessible and not, we don't have a bunch of squeeze points, you know, like for instance, on Federal Street. I know we might not be talking about Federal Street, but we don't want to make it hard for a wheelchair and pedestrians to be able to get down the sidewalk. And also just keep in mind the Lewis School and the amount of students we'll actually have downtown. And when it comes to cars coming downtown, and I know Chuck and I and Jim have gone over this a few times, but just keep in mind of the traffic and the students that'll be dropped off on Front Street and, you know, their traffic going from, like, let's say Realty Tower back and forth to the school. Just, you know, be mindful that we don't create a situation that makes it difficult for handicapped, elderly, or students. That's all. Thank you. And I know you guys are working on that and making it good. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joyce. I'll comment. Great comments, and Joyce, we have been talking about it, but I can assure you that's all in the plan. All the intersections are ADA accessible with curb ramps. And then I know that in front of the school that we went out of our way to make sure that there was the adequate drop-off zones and pickup zones. That's staying in the plan, so we should be good to go on all your comments. But Federal Street certainly should be more walkable with the wider sidewalks as we build out Federal Street. So good comments, and thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Well, if there are no other comments, and we'll move on to the next item. Thank you, Jim, for coming and presenting and keeping us up to date on the work that's going on. I really appreciate it.
Great, thank you, Hunter, and thanks to everybody on the committee for all the work you do. Thank you.
The next case is case DRC 2116, Alex Zordich, a proposal to perform exterior alterations, including full renovation of the entire existing facility using aluminum siding, stone brick, and cedar located at 252 Valley Street in Youngstown, Ohio. Mr. Zordich, I see you're on. And Rick, if we could put that case up. So, Mr. Zordich, can you explain what your case is?
Yeah, yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you having me. So basically what I'm trying to do here, just give it a nice facelift, more traditional look, more appealing to the public. We're making good progress on everything. We're going to be opening here soon in a couple weeks. This work could be done. The goal is within this year. It already looks pretty appealing right now, but obviously you could tell that there's some before and after pictures on here. You could tell that this will be a nice look. It'll fit the concept, all traditional design and everything like that. We want to focus primarily on the patios that are up front, patios that are in the back, and then like small little bocce court, just a single lane, very traditional. And then parking is also important aspect of this. I have the property to the right of the house that want to turn into a parking lot for any dinners or events that we're going to be having. So it's not a nuisance to the traffic flow for the students and the other businesses around there.
So this is what these are your
Yeah,
drawings.
so here's your before and after. So everything right now on the left is everything we've been working on. Just right now it looks like traditional home from that area. I'd like to spice it up a little bit, just kind of give it more of a restaurant feel, but also still have that traditional hollow home as well. We have plans to put the pizza oven in the back there, a pergola with the grapevines. And then I think the next slide, or if you see on the, back in the back, we're going to have seating. That'll be cleaned up a bit more, but also want to keep the same feel. We have a garden back there. The whole idea is to keep the smoky hollow traditional feel as well. And then here's our bocce court that we're going to have in the backyard with another pergola system with grapevines growing over top next to our food truck. And then these are just interior thoughts. I know those don't relate too much to design review, but just kind of give everybody a feel what we're going for. And the same with this. So this is our bar room. We're actually going to have the bar room ready, and the outdoor is going to be ready here within the end of the month. So we're excited about that.
Right. Any questions or comments from the members of the committee on this?
I think this is a really nice idea, especially for the hollow, to keep some traditions alive and to bring some new ideas to the valley. I really am excited to see it happen.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, the tradition of the outdoor pizza oven, which, back in the day, people had those in their backyards. It's great.
Yeah, we're excited about that. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's help with the project as well.
Nick, any comments or thoughts on this?
No comments or thoughts. Just
want to say how exciting it is to see another young entrepreneur from the area investing in the Hollow, investing in the city, and keeping your business here, Alex.
Well, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, and it's been a big help. So we're excited to finally get it going and just keep growing it from there.
Bill, we've been working in smoking out a long time. Any thoughts on this?
It's good to see some of those things come into fruition finally. I do have a question about the off-street parking. I mean, I didn't see it showing there. You said you had a lot nearby or whatever that you could have off-street parking on.
Yeah. So the idea is to create a lot where the food truck was. That's a whole lot of land that came with the property. We could probably fit 15 to 20 spaces within there, and then just a couple cars up front going one way on the road there. But that's the idea for parking.
So Alex, that's not before us today. So when you get ready to come forward with a design of the parking lot.
That's, I must have got lost in the shuffle because I know I attached that.
Okay.
There was a whole chart with the picture of the property and the lines, the actual measurements. So if I can, I'll try to resend it to you or something. I don't know how that got lost.
Was that submitted to the building department at this point?
That was submitted to design review last week with my application. So.
Okay.
Can I just say, this is Jeff Hunter, through the chair, if I might, if the pizza in Cornersburg is any indication of the quality of work coming out of there, this is going to be a real feather in the city's hat and a real benefit for the community.
Okay, Jeff.
Hunter. Through the chair.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say to Alex, I appreciate his patience and thank you for never giving up on your project. Appreciate you bringing this to the Hollow. I think this will add a lot of culture and character back into that neighborhood, specifically with all the talk for many years about putting new housing and everything down there. I think this will definitely energize interest and kind of push the rest of those plans forward. So I just thank you to Nikki and Jeff for helping us get this moving forward. And I can't wait to come get my first slice. Thanks.
I appreciate it, Joyce. Thank you.
I don't see, Alex, I didn't see the parking lot specifically in the presentation. So I think.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that gets sent over because there's a whole diagram, traffic flow with the arrows and everything. So I'll make sure that you all see that.
Good. Yeah, that would be great.
That was on the original submittal.
Okay.
With the form with that packet, and then it had parking 15 spaces with traffic flow. I just forwarded that to Rick. I was on the original email that Alex had submitted.
Okay.
If we want to pull that up just to avoid any headaches later.
Rick, can we pull that up? Is that possible?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me get the attachments ready.
While we're doing that, I just want to thank you, Alex, for working with us. And again, like Councilman Oliver said, your patience through this whole process. And we are definitely looking forward to enjoying what you've done in Cornersburg over in Smoky Hollow. So great job, and so looking forward to it. And the pizza is fantastic.
Well, thank you, Nikki. We're looking forward to it too. I appreciate all your help as well.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
So is this going to be a gravel lot, an asphalt lot? What are you doing?
Leaning towards gravel lot to start, but I would like to get to a point where it's asphalt.
Is that a zoning issue, Chuck, in terms of the requirements?
Yeah, we'll review it for zoning. Also, it needs to be reviewed for engineering.
Okay.
as well. And I don't know who your architect is. I can't see that stamp, but we'll have to get you have to get
So
a
Alex, I
civil
think
engineer
if
on board. You have to get a civil engineer on board for the stormwater and for the parking lot layout and have it get it submitted to Public Works.
Sounds great.
All right.
Yep.
It'd be great if we can do that for the July BZA meeting, if it needs to go before zoning.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll
Been
second.
moved and seconded
All right.
to approve the design as presented. Any comments, further comments on the motion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Alex, thanks very much. Motion is approved. And if you work with Chuck to deal with the zoning permit and the design, the engineering issues with the parking lot, that'd be great.
That sounds great. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Okay. The next case we have is DRC 21-17, Michael Long, Brian Rector, Kathleen Day of Bartlett Signs. Proposal to reimage the exterior building signage, including road signage, faces only, using exterior sign structures located at 420 Fifth Avenue. Is someone here from Bartlett Signs? Kathleen? You're muted. There we go.
Bartlett Signs is not here, but I am Kathleen Day. I'm the architect for the project.
Okay.
And includes a reimaging of the signs as well as the building. As you can see in the presentation material, we have the photos of the existing building that has the oranges and the gray, the tan colors. And then the new building has a dark gray and a light gray, as well as purple scored ephes. With the new signage, we are not increasing the signs. There is currently a single sign on the main entry side of the building, and 2 signs on the front. We are going to have 2 signs on the front and 1 on the entry side. And I'm not sure what else you need to know about it, but I'm here for questions.
We have
Also,
these are
Brian
all
Rector and
interiors.
Scott Bradley from Charter Foods are on the call as well.
Okay, we're trying to get to the. I don't see any of the images. Rick,
Is there a page where the images are
Yes,
on the
there are
presentation?
colored images.
Let's see. Oh, okay. 1 second.
there we go. So this is existing, correct?
Yes,
And that's the proposed.
that's the proposed.
And that's part of your is this a corporate reimaging?
It is.
And are you replacing signs 1 for 1?
We're replacing 1 for 1, except on the side of the building where there are 2 signs there currently, and we're just putting 1 back.
So you're actually reducing the number of
Yes.
signs on the side of the building?
Yes,
The square footage just stayed the same?
it has decreased.
Okay. Are there questions from the members of the committee? I'd love to attribute this to all the Smart 2 work that's going on the sidewalk, on the street side of this building, but I assume this is something, Kathleen, that would have come along as part of your corporate branding.
There is corporate branding. Charter Foods tends to take it from the remodel imaging to bring it to the current image to try to keep up with the current trends of the image instead of just kind of putting a Band-Aid on it and making it look a little bit better. So they do try to bring it up to the current imaging.
Well, perhaps the city could claim this as an induced investment because it's a nice refresh of the building.
Totally.
Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll motion to approve.
Been moved, Mr. Creature,
Second.
seconded by Mr. DeFrance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. The third item on the agenda is a matter that we've tabled. Thank you, Kathleen, for coming in today.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
look forward to seeing this restaurant. Two restaurants today. This is good. The third case is DRC 21-15 by Michael Calaluti. Proposal to perform exterior alterations, including replacement of existing brick and siding with split face block, painting existing facade, replacement of 2 existing main doors, and 1 10-foot by 7-foot garage door, and upgrading existing roof to a 33-12 pitched roof with steel overlay located at 2555 Market Street in Youngstown. Michael, are you here? Yep. Yes.
I am here. Yes.
And the last time we came forward with the old drawings and no photographs, and I see we have an updated presentation.
Yes, and before we go too much further, the roof is going to stay with a flat roof just like it is now, so there won't be any change in the look of the roof, from the street or anything else.
So the approval would be, or the action would eliminate the line about upgrading the existing roof to a 312 pitched roof with steel overlay, correct?
Correct. It's just going to be a regular flat roof like it is now.
Okay. Oh, that's just maintenance. That's just a replacement then.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about your project now that we have exhibits.
The image on the left is what you would see if you were on Market Street. The image on the right is what you would see if you were on Princeton looking south. When that building was originally built, on the right image, you can see an overhead door to the left. Then you see a white man door with some T111 siding. That originally was also an overhead door. And then to the right is another existing overhead door. And then to the right of that was another existing, that was an overhead door when the building was originally built. So my plan is to replace those, that T111 siding, that wood look, replace those with the overhead doors like it originally was. And the rest of that brick facade there that you see that's obviously discolored and chipped and everything else, I'm going to I want to side that with metal siding, which is pretty much widely used to do what I want to do, go over brick, etc. The picture on the left is the old look with the T111 siding that when that building was originally built used to be all windows. And it just, I didn't do that repair. That's the way it was when I bought it. And that T111 siding is, it's in pretty bad shape and it needed to be replaced. Okay, this is the picture of the repairs that were made after the fire of the building next door. And when the contractor went to repair the front of the building, it was pretty much it just pretty much fell apart. And he just went ahead and replaced it with that block. So if you're looking at that picture, the telephone pole there's kind of in the way, but just about that line where the telephone pole is, from there back will be the metal siding. I think that needs to be flipped if it can be. Okay, that's a sample of the metal siding up against the split face block.
Yeah, blue metal siding.
Nah, it didn't come out blue. It's actually a gray color. I don't know
Okay.
if you can actually look. I don't know. In the picture, I don't know what you see when you see my picture on the screen here, but I'm in another one of my buildings that I just put the same siding up behind me on the inside, and I don't know if you can see that in what you're looking at or not. But it's actually just a taupe gray color siding.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
I mean, obviously the colors. I'm not going to do anything that's going to hinder the look. That picture, if you can see the 4 overhead doors, how it will look when it's finished on the left with the siding.
Okay.
Michael,
Yes.
France, do you plan any building signage for the front elevation on Market Street?
There's a picture, one of the pictures that we just kind of went through. There was a picture of kind of a signage that I have branded with my other location in Boardman. I kind of just want to go with the same thing.
And what will it be, and how large will it be?
The sign is 2 foot by 7 foot.
Uh-huh. And what is it? What is it constructed of?
Oh, it's an aluminum. They make them out of an aluminum. It's kind of about an 1/8 inch thick aluminum. They cover it with, this particular sign is covered with a white vinyl, and then it has vinyl letters on top. So it's pretty much flush with the wall. It doesn't overhang or anything like that.
Any additional illumination other than what's on the street?
I had 2, they used to be called those vapor lights that mounted on the wall. I had replaced them with LED lights on the, and they were on the Princeton, the wall that faces Princeton. I had 2 of them there that actually lit up the parking lot very good. And then there happens to be street lights. There's one on Princeton and there's one on Market Street.
Any additional signage on the Market Street?
Any additional signage? Is that what you said, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, no additional signage, no.
Thanks.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments?
To the chair.
Councilman Davis.
Yes,
Sorry,
good
I
morning.
didn't see you.
I've been here for a while. That's okay. I do have a couple of questions. Where is he located in Boardman so I can take a look at his building?
The address is 4300 Simon Road.
Simon Road. Off of Midlothian? Off of Midlothian?
Correct. It's Simon Road is the road which it's right next to Schwabel's. It's
Okay.
kind of an industrial area back in there, and I have 2 buildings back here that I've leased. One is 4,500 square foot, and the other one is 2,300 square foot.
Okay. And to the chair, follow up?
Yes.
Okay. And so the sign that you're going to put on your building, it's going to be similar to the sign that's on your building now on Simon Road?
It'll be exact. And also going through these pictures, there was a picture of the sign. So I don't know if you can go back through it or not, but it's pretty basic. There it is right there.
Okay.
Okay. And that's going to be mounted over on the front of it, over on the roof, off the roof, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions from other members of the committee? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Hunter, I have a question.
Mr. Davignon, yes.
Yeah, I'm still questioning, if this is within the jurisdiction of the Design and Review Committee. And it looks like it's about 90% complete already. Do we really need to do anything with this?
I think we determined last time that it is in the, it came before the committee because it's in the Uptown form-based code, and the design guidelines for the city may be somewhat ambiguous there, but this is an area that is receiving attention. So I think that's why it came before the committee. And so at this point in time, I believe it's properly before the committee, and so a motion to act on this would be in order.
You know, one final comment, Michael. I know your site is tight, and there aren't many opportunities, but anything that you could do in the way of landscaping, adding a bit of green to, you know, what you're doing there would be a real benefit. So see what you can do in that direction. I do recognize that the site is tight.
I actually, I mean, I was thinking about, you're going to laugh at this. I was thinking about doing some shrubs on the Market Street side. And just 2 weeks ago, I got a call from YPD where somebody actually took out the front fence and hit the building and totaled their car. So I'm a little, have reservations about doing anything like that at this point. But
well, I still applaud your thought on doing some shrubbery. So
okay,
good thinking.
Yeah, there's, and the other thing, let me interject this real quick. The property that is it would be south of me, where that had the building that was burnt down. If there was a way that I could acquire that property, I can't seem to get a hold of the owner that shows on with the auditor's website. But right now, that piece of property looks really bad. I mean, there's mud, there's weeds, there's and the funny thing is, there's it's mostly blacktop. If it was if it had some attention, it would improve the whole area. And then where the building was itself that burnt down, right now is just dirt and topsoil. I mean, grass could be planted there, and you know, if I owned it, I would keep up that grass and maybe just use the part that's blacktopped. But the area's definitely in need of some attention, as you could see from some of those other pictures.
Mm-hmm.
The chair.
Yes, ma'am. Councilwoman.
Yes. So you're looking at the property that used to be part of the Junior Achievement and part of the porno shop.
Well, yeah, you said it right. The porno shop.
It was a, you know, adult theater shop. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you would then try to acquire it and then expand your lot.
I would.
Okay.
And then the other thing is also there's a house behind my property. Again, there's a picture there. The house has been empty for probably 10 years. The weeds are so high in trees, you can't see it. The bottom picture there. Yeah. Again, actually the neighbors on that street are actually pretty good neighbors. They're good to me. Let me just say that. And that house is it's just an eyesore. I mean, it's just terrible. It had caught fire here about 6-8 months ago, and I was surprised. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I have an incoming call. I'm on my cell phone. That fence that you have around your business, how high is that fence?
6 foot.
Hunter, what's the maximum height for that corner for a fence?
I believe it's that, but Bill, do you know?
It's commercial, 6 foot fences permitted.
Oh.
All the way around, 6 foot? All right.
Yes, all the way around. Yes.
Further discussion on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, several of those properties appear to be tax delinquent, so perhaps there's something we can do to work with you on the assembly of property in the area.
I make a motion we approve the submission.
Been moved to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Limbian. Been moved, and are there any further discussion on the matter?
I have no problem with the project. I just think in the future we have an opportunity to kind of look at the jurisdictional issues that Bill mentioned, but no problems with the project. Glad you're investing in the property too, and we'll take a look at the adjacent sites as well.
Well, thank you.
If there are no further questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I believe there's no further business before the committee. Any further discussion? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.